Hi, welcome back to Pacific Carry Guys. Let's play tutorial Warplan Pacific. We're still in March 29th, 1942. We're not going to do much gameplay here. We're just going to talk a little bit about some things. I got to correct a couple things. This, this game to me is always like chess. Chess is it's really a simple game. Look at the pawn. Moves two on the first turn, can only move one after that. Uh, or its first move it can move two. After that, it can only move one. It can only move in a straight line. Attacks and diagonals. Simple, easy. But when you get all the units together and get that mixed together, all of a sudden things begin to get a little complicated. And that's the way this game is. There's a lot to this game. I may have made a mistake and explained some things wrong. And one things I want to talk about is we're going to talk a moment about port size. Port sizes are 1 through 9, okay? And port size is port size 1 barely does anything. And port size 1 through 4, port size 1, well, let's start. Port size 1, it's 20 supply per port size. That's the strength points it will supply. And then uh, port size 1 will not protect any units inside of it. If I remember right, in fact, we're going to go look and make sure that I'm right. Let me give you guys some little background information there. If you go to the forums, I have uploaded this thing as a PDF, so you can see it as a PDF. I've taken a lot of the rules, a lot of the clarifications that the owner or the creators made. Okay, you can see right here. Now this is a table right from it's right out of the manual. Port size 1, it doesn't have no defensive value. Port size 2, 3, 4 have a defensive value of 5. And this is from a surface attack now. And so port size 5 and above cannot be attacked. Port size 1 through 4, that's the number of naval groups that can be put there. So port size 1, like this guy right here, can only supply one naval group. Port size 5 and above supply any number of naval groups. We're gonna bring this over here, put it on this other screen so you don't have to look at it anymore. So port sizes like this is a port size 3. Okay, you can see down here, look right down here, port size. That was Raboul. Towers a port size 2, port size 3, port size 3, port size 1s. There's a couple around here, and the real problem with them is okay. Like for instance, I played a game where as Japan, I tried to get a unit out here on Johnston Island. Now the good news is you get an air unit on here. Air units are size 20. This thing can supply port 20 and it'd be great. And these islands. The only reason they're important is because of what he's done right here. Look at that air unit. 10 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're talking a radius like that. If I move a naval unit anywhere in that radius, he's going to get a chance to attack it. That's why you put a naval unit here or an air unit here, all of a sudden I can't come this way. If I come this way, I'm going to get attacked. If I come this way, I'm going to get attacked by both. And that's why these little guys, you put an air unit here, Yeah, you're going to be able to attack someone. But he comes in with a good sized fleet, lands a land unit on here, your air unit's going to get overrun, and you're going back. Your air unit, you won't lose it. It'll go back into your deployment queue. So, what quay queue, depends what English you are. So that's kind of why, um, you want to look at your port sizes, and some of them, yeah, that sounds good, but not really. Here's Samoa, port size 4, Suva in Fiji, port size 6. That means it can repair, unlimited port supply. Unlimited, not port supply, but unlimited naval supply. Port size 3. And so you can kind of see an idea. Here's Rabaul, port size 8, unlimited. Here's Truck, port size 7, unlimited. That makes a lot more sense. Truck was a major naval base for the Japanese. They got it. They got these islands during World War One from the Germans, and they built Truck up to be a major naval base to the point that during World War Two, we didn't want to attack it. We just wanted to avoid it and have it want to be one of the islands that we just cut off. Now, you'll notice that I have taken the English units out of the Indian Ocean. And like I said, that they're little more than a speed bump. But you got to be careful. The thing about this game is you got to really think, honestly, at a minimum, and I haven't done a good job of it this game, 6 months ahead. What are you going to be doing 6 months from now? Okay. And the reason I say that, okay, is what would happen. Okay. Now, right now, it'd be okay because I can get supply. Calcutta, I can guarantee, is the main supply. And I'm getting supply and it's moving around down this road. So I'm getting supply okay. But if he cuts this off, he could bring a fleet right here. And Rangoon's not getting supply, because he could blockade this fleet. It would just take 3 naval groups. That's all it would take to blockade Rangoon, and Rangoon's not getting supply. So let's do a little bit of math. Okay, I've got 3 turns. Okay, 1 turn to get my units down here to India. So now the Rangoon's at 2, going to be at 2 supply, and I've got units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'll probably pop out somewhere like that. 25, 26. So I'm going to get one movement's going to get me right there. So the best I could do is either attack, go on ahead and move my second movement, an attack in pursuit combat, where I still get to attack, but I'm at 50% value when I do it. Okay. Or, okay, I wait a turn. Now, if I wait a turn, okay, that means he's down to 1 supply. And I'm going to show you something here. If I can find the right table. Because units, here we go. This is what I want. Units with 1 supply takes an additional 10% effectiveness loss. So if he gets attacked, he's going to lose an additional 10% effectiveness, which right now wouldn't matter. But let him go a couple of turns without getting supply. See what I'm saying? It can get dangerous. You really have to think. This is a perfect example of the mistake I made. I waited too long to bring these guys out of because see, if I would have had him, well, maybe I could have moved him, but I could have maybe got him on a transport and got him headed out somewhere. Now the problem with that is, yeah, I get him headed out somewhere, but next turn I'm going to have 20 transports, and I want to move this air security guy down here to fight Japanese their Japanese air. And this is also why the AI is really not aggressive enough. He needs to bring more naval units, his Marines. See, the thing about Marines is like if you put a Marine unit right here, he can go right here. Now this is jungle, and it's hard to march through. Okay, but all these they don't require invasion. If I click on 'em, see, they're still UK. They're allied. That's why this guy's here. All these things, they're still allied. And see, he should bring a unit right here. Let's just start marching across right on this road. He, you can easily get down to right here and be threatening Port Moresby. I mean, it's simple. Okay, and I should move this guy up one because now normally, and I got to get Australian units. Notice I don't have them out of garrison duty. Now that's not bad because honestly, all they're going to do is garrison duty for a wall. But see, here's the thing too, because he doesn't have this taken, because I've got all these air units here, and he's really allowed me to have the air units here without any threat. I know there's no threat to. I mean, yeah, he can move or try moving a unit down here. He does. These air units are going to tear him apart. So there's no threat to my coast of Australia. So I could just take these Australian units, start moving them up. Okay. This is one of the failings of the AI. The I don't know what can be done. I do have a Japanese AAR where I'm running the Japanese, and I don't know if I'll make a video for the Japanese or not. I, I I'm I, I'm not a video guy. I think you can tell that. I like the idea of video guys, but my microphone is I'm using a headset microphone, so my microphone is not that good. And I did the best I could using my recording system to make my voice sound better. It does sound better than just using the microphone. But you can see that you know you need to be thinking ahead. This is where production comes in about thinking ahead about what you're doing. Let's take the United States for example. We'll look United States. Okay, now right now I have zero landing craft, so I could land here at Henderson Field because he's not taking it. Okay, but I can't. I could not invade. Well, I could see in here again. I could land right here because that's that. You can look down there in the corner. It's still owned by UK, so I could land here, and I don't think that's considered an invasion. But see, to do invasions, I got to have landing craft. Go right here. I got three in the queue. So I do have 30. So I built 30, but they take 90 days. If I built them, in fact, I think I built them this turn. If I build some this turn, I'm not getting them till June. It's March. I'm not getting them till June. So it's something where hey, you need to be thinking ahead. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and use. I got another three convoys I can do. Three production points. Doesn't sound like much, but it can be quite a bit. Wonder why? Oh, I just changed it. That's why. And that screen don't up. It doesn't update quick enough. It didn't update. That's what I'm going to do next turn. That's what I did this turn. What I'm going to do next turn. So for air transports, I know for airdrops, I think you got to be in 6Xs. I can't remember, honest with you. Let's do a little bit of looking here. That's why I made this up so I could do it. I don't have to go. The manual is good, but it's a manual, and it's very much a manual. And sometimes any unit that is out of supply may call an air transport to drop supplies if within 6 axes of any air group. I didn't want to close that, but that's fine. So if I had a land unit here, it would not be getting supply. There's no port for it to get supply. But what? One, two, three, four, I could get air supply. See, if I had enough air transports, how long does it take to build an air transport? 150 days. I won't go if I build one this turn. If I could, I wouldn't get it to August 26th, and that is why. Yeah, I haven't done good enough planning this turn, but you've really got to do a little bit of planning. Now, right now, what I'm looking at, okay, uh, I think we're holding off pretty well right here. Okay, I'm kind of worried though. He's built up. He's doing good. This guy, his effectiveness could go up a little bit better. Honestly, with you, if I wanted it to, I'd really prefer it to. But that's not bad. These guys are look at that 4 strength, 6 strength, 5 strength. They're what's soaking India's production points up, but India's got oil that's just doing perfectly. And hopefully we can get some trucks up there to bring up their effectiveness. I got to get this guy over there. That's a priority. Now this headquarters unit, right now there's really nothing for him to do because I mean there's really no other UK units out there. And I've already got this headquarters unit there, but I got to get that division up there to help these guys because I've really got 3 effective units up here. That's really all I have. China. Boy, I want to take this city right here, but I don't want to cross the river. I want that defense. And that's all I'm doing here, defense. That's all this is. China, you do not attack. You defend. You defend, you defend, and you defend. And a lot of times, this is where I think the Japanese AI, again, he's not aggressive enough. He needs to be pushing some more of these units. Now, if nothing else, to put the Chinese AI under pressure. One thing you want to do the minute you start your turn, you want to start retreating Japanese units. They have some up here, they're in planes. And if the Japanese guy's smart enough, he can go around this way, go around this way, and encircle units. Start pulling back. The AI is really good at that at the south, and he pulls back to a line. Now I've been able to push forward a little bit here, okay? But what you want to worry about, what you want to look at, one thing you want to look at in land combat is those situations like this right here. He can double up on me. Now, if he moved that guy down the hills, now this is where you need to understand terrain. First off, moving into the hills, that's going to cost him extra movement points. He's going to have very little left. He's going to be attacking across rivers, so I'm going to be okay right here if he tried to team up with three. And if he did, I could shift these guys one and maybe get this guy cut off. Okay, so he's not going to do it, but that's what you want to watch out for. Those, because see, like right here, well, just advance. No, you advance right there. He's got three on one unit, and that's where you can get them odds. And 7 to 1 odds, your unit is shattered. The unit disappears from the board, and all you get back is a little production and a little manpower. Don't even bother. Okay. If I was the Japanese unit guy, you see he's left all this area open. I move this guy out, headed that way, or just even headed right up there. I should be able to get good odds on this guy. Push this guy up here to Canton. You should be able to hold. And all of a sudden, I got a very strong unit sitting here on my south, and I've got to react. And this guy might already be gone. I'd have to pull this guy back, pull that guy back, pull all these guys back just to cover for this guy. I haven't done a lot with generals because, well, they're just, this guy, who's he? These guys, he's controlling a couple units here. This guy's controlling more. Look at him, he's a 6. There's nobody replacing. So, same thing up here. I can tell you now, between Gifford, let's look, let's see if there's anybody else. Not even close. Archibald Wavell is a very underrated commander, even in real life. Well, I could get this guy. I wonder why he's got an asterisk. We don't have enough command points anyway. Well, I may want to go look and find out why do they have asterisk. It's kind of interesting. UK's oil is really hurting, and part of the problem is I'm moving all those naval units. That's one thing oil that you just don't get to move everything. But he's up to 9. If I can get a rest period and get that stockpile built up, India's doing awesome for oil. India's got like 44 oil. The only thing India, let's look here. We can look right there, 0. He uses 1, 0, 0. This is all their oil use. If you really want to know for sure, right there, 0. And you can go in to your options, details off. I got details on. You click details on. Now that stays up there. 0, this guy uses 1. So I got one, this guy right here, and this guy right here, when he flies, the air unit, they're the only you guys that use oil. That's awesome, by the way. Thank goodness. So they got 44 oil. They got oil for a while. That's nice. Okay, Australia. Now Australia's a little bit in trouble. Now again, the land units don't use oil. Mech and armored use a lot of oil, but he's got 10. That guy, the headquarters uses oil. He's got this guy's going to use 3 oil. So 10. I used the Air Force once. Move this guy for 3. That's 4. And I'm not, it's a good question. Might want to go ask somewhere around here, unless it's been sunk. I got the Canberra. It's an Australian unit, but its collared is the UK. Now I'm going to assume it uses Australian oil. In fact, it's given me a warning right there. Low oil, and it doesn't really matter if it's UK or Australia. But one of them's got low oil. Both of them got low oil. I do have a supply oiler. Now, the oiler does not, it's my understanding, won't do anything for the oil use, but it does, will resupply this unit. See, that's something I might need to buy a few more of, buy a few more oilers. But again, I think they take either 30 or 90 days. I can't remember to build. So my plan is simple. I'm gonna start shipping units down here because I want to take New Guinea and I want to take the Solomons because then I can get a good perimeter right here. Okay, and if I could, and then there's 2 ways for me to go. Okay, so let's see. I want to move right up in here. Take this. Okay. All I gotta do is get a guy. I can start marching right up this road and then right across. And really, I don't even have to go across. I take, I take this right here, and then I'm not even sure I care about that. Uh, Take those ports right there. Well, I still own that port. Take that port right there, and you can see that, hey, that port's a size 2, this port's a size 4. And I could even really, uh, now right now, the only land unit, see, to me, it looks like the only land unit he's got on Rabull is this guy right here, which means I could invade, if I could invade, I could take Rabull and take the port. Now, if he moves that guy back, I probably won't even assault it. Just do what the Allies did, move around it and just let it die on the vine. See, and I'm wondering now, and it's just, we're just thinking here. Okay, just doing a little bit of thinking. Now, the problem you have, and this is, he's defended rather decently in here. One thing he's not defended, what in the world? The AI needs help. This is still UK, which means the AI is not getting any of that oil. Now that's only 3 oil because you got to divide by 3. 7 and 2 is 9. They're owned by the UK basically. Okay. When Japan takes them, he wouldn't own them. He would just control them. And resources that you control, you divide by 3. But that's 3 oil. That's also a naval base that I could invade. There's a port right there. I don't even need to invade it. In fact, all I got to do is go right there. I wonder. But see, then now I'd have to come through here, or I'd have to come through here. He's got this air unit here. He's got this air unit here. Those can all intercept me. This air unit, what do we got here? Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, come on now. Do a little bit counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I come through here, he's going to intercept me. I don't think he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I might be able to squeeze through there. But what I really want to take is this. That's right there. Let's see. Where's it at? Yeah, right there. 30 supplies, 30 resources, and it's oil. It's 30 oil. That's a supply depot. So if I take the supply depot, so I'm going to have to look this up. I wonder if I could come up here, invade, take this supply depot. Because what you got to look at is your units have like, you land with 3 supply. And then the next turn you've got 2. So where are you getting supply from? And it's ports. Now he's left this port open, so I might be able to invade this port, or either I got to land. Now that's a minefield, so I either got to land right here on this beach X and try to take this port, and then what you got to look at, that's a size 4. That's 80 strength points worth of units. That's another 80. How much is supply depot? See, it doesn't say. So I don't know what I might have to look that up. But if I could take Java here, that 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 would kill him. But right now, honestly, the only units I got to do it with are Australian. I might be able to get some U.S. units. It, it yeah, I might be able to get them into Darwin. Derby size 2, Darwin size 2. These are so small ports on this side. Uh, and the only error I'm going to get until I get in is my CVs. That's where your CVs come important. But you got to think about this. Right now, I got 5 CVs. Let's say they've got 80 planes each. That's 400 aircraft. 3 to 400 there, 3 to 400 there. He brings it down another 3 to 400. CVs until late in the war, they don't have enough air power to match land-based air. And that's the way it was in reality until mid 44, when the United States just had massive amounts. I mean, we're putting out fleets of 12, 14, 15, 16 CVs. We just could not. They're good for raiding land-based, but they're not there to overpower land-based. And I'm talking land-based air. This is a game of air power, far more so than the European theater. I mean, everybody talks about air power in the European theater. This is where air power really showed, because I mean, this is a perfect example. In 1942 into 43 when the struggle for the Solomon Islands re- really occurred. It's really it it was really interesting because it was a 12 o'clock war, and what I mean by that is every 12 hours, who was in control shifted, because during the daytime, Jap- Americans went around, did all their stuff, flew around. Uh, uh, Supply ships went to ports. Ships moved around. Units moved around. Everybody did what they could do. But then, after 12 hours, when it started to get dark, all the supply ships went away, and that's when the Japanese came out because they controlled the night really. And the Japanese only came out at night because they couldn't come out during the day because of air power. There's quite a few battles they had where Japanese units that they took surface ships down, battled American surface ships, won, but they couldn't attack they didn't stick around long enough to really sink the transports or to do damage to the airfields, and with bombardment or anything, because they retreated because they were scared that, hey, it's getting late. If I don't get back, I'm going to be caught out in the daytime, and my ships are going to die to Allied air power. Again, submarines should have a service value of 7. Look at that, 0. They're useless. I've got them out here. Let me do pickets. Give me warning, because that's about all they're good for. I mean, the stories. There's a great video on YouTube, Mark 14, Failure Like Onions. You want to know about torpedoes? Go watch that. It just, in so many ways, that it was amazing. So, bring these guys. We're going to bring them down. We're going to bring them down here. The distances here, and he shrunk this map. Okay, really, Australia, he should have more hexes here in the middle of Australia, but he did it for playability. Okay, but you can see the massive. This is why in 1941 it shocked everybody that Japan could go up here on trade routes that weren't used, get all the way over here, and attack Hawaii. One of the things you find out, it always it interests me how we underestimated Japan's technical ability. We did not think they had the technical ability to make a plane like the Zero. We didn't think they had the technical ability to get a fleet all the way over here. We underestimated their technical ability. Japan, on the other hand, they knew we had quantity. One of the reasons why they knew they wanted to go to war when they did is because they knew this was coming. See, a lot of these were built. A lot of these began to be built in 35, 39, and 40 in what was called the Two Ocean Navy Bill. They knew this was coming, and they knew that, hey, w- once America gets that fleet out, we don't have superiority. So they knew we had quantity. They didn't think we had as good quality, and they definitely did not think, even at Midway. One of the reasons why, uh, one of the reasons why Japan attacked Midway and didn't really plan for the American ships to be out at Midway ready to defend it is because they thought, well, they don't want to fight. We've beaten them down so much, their morale is low. They're not going to really want to fight. So uh, they just assumed, and it's what you cannot do. When you're fighting, even in this game, don't plan on what your don't plan on what your enemy will do. You have to plan on, well, what can he do? Okay. See, Japan could, and I really have not, I'm really unprepared for it. He could take a transport, take some CVs, and as an AI, if I was a, I'd have to be doing a lot differently if I was playing a player because he takes an AI and a CV comes right over here. He invades Australia and I'm in trouble. Or not Australia, but India. Australia, a lot of people, I would worry about him invading here. Okay. Invading here. All right. Okay. You take Port Darwin. Okay. Um, where are you going exactly? I'll put some units out here. I mean, there's no resources. What they got to have to worry about is victory points. Let's toggle our victory points on and off. Okay. And then close the victory points down here. So there's no victory points. You've got small. Well, here's one resource production. That's what that one is. You got these small little ports, no resources. Yeah, you're going ahead and invade it. That's fine. Yeah, all right, whatever. March your units across the desert. Woohoo! I mean, uh, yeah. I mean, I'll go around you. What I don't want him invading is right here. This is where all Australia stuff is really at. This is the now that's a problem. He invades here. Invading India is a problem because here's some resources, victory points, and it would cut off these units. And really, he could get up here into Calcutta, and if you look at supply, there's my supply point right there. All these guys could get cut off. That's what you don't want. I'm far more worried about India. In fact, uh, uh, the in the war by May April they not May April I'm sorry March April Japan had really conquered everything that they want to conquer. They started looking at, okay, where do we want to go from here? And they did, and by this time you're talking it well. It's interesting the timing of things. Japan went to war in December of 41. In March of 42, they probably don't go to war because by March or April 42, it's a foregone conclusion that the Soviet Union, Germany is not going to beat the Soviet Union. Okay. And if Germany doesn't beat the Soviet Union, it's gone. See, in 41, there was still that chance. By the time you get to March, summer of 42, Germany's not going to beat the Soviet Union. So Japan would have known, hey, wait a minute. We go to war with the Allies. Yeah, right now they're fighting them, but Germany's going to lose. We're going to be fighting them by ourselves. and they were deathly scared of the Soviet Union attacking them. Okay, but there was still that question in March of 41. Well, we could attack and aid our ally, but they really weren't worried about that because, like I said, what was going on? Hey, Germany's losing. So the question was: is do they go to India? Do they go here to Australia? Or do they do what Yamamoto wanted, attack Wake, try to draw out the Allied fleet to destroy it? The hope they had was that by destroying our Allied fleet, destroying the U.S. fleet, it would so demoralize us that we wouldn't want to fight anymore. And one of the reasons, two things happened. First off, the army did not want to go to Australia because they said, hey, we need 10 to 15 divisions. Look at all these divisions here, all these army units. They didn't have it. They had to either take it from here, which they didn't want to do because they were kind of scared of the Soviet Union. And they didn't have it here. They didn't want to take it. They couldn't take it from here, so they really felt they didn't have the army. And then when the Doolittle raid occurred, well, that was the American fleet. We got to destroy the American fleet, and that sold them on doing Midway. And Midway failed because, well, the first off, they did that, but well, okay, we'll do Midway, but we want you to support the invasion of Port Moresby. And it was thought, well, I'll send the Shokoku and the Zokoku aircraft carriers down here to aid in the invasion of Port Moresby, and then we'll get them back in time. Well, they didn't get them back because the Shokoku was damaged and the Zukoku air group was so wrecked it didn't have an air group. So he took 4 CVs to Midway instead of 6. And if he takes 6, yeah, he still might lose 3, but America either loses 2 or even all 3 of her aircraft carriers, which is a lesson. And I said it before in one of the other uh, videos. You have 2 choices. When you look at an objective here, and I'm doing this as an American, even as the American, I'm looking at, okay, there's objectives that are worth me using every single one of my CVs. It's either worth all of them or it's not worth any of them. That's all there is. All right, guys. I have talked for 50 minutes. This, by the way, I've read more books about this. This is my theater. I like the European theater. I know bits and pieces about. I'm gonna go post about this. This should not. This is this is bad. Cause you wanna at least make them invade. This I don't even have to invade. All I gotta do is transport land units. And this is why Japan is kind of difficult. And see, I wouldn't cover these size 1 ports. Okay, let's say, I mean, look, you cover right here. Even if I'm the ally, okay, I land right here. It's got 20 supply. I get a single division, no air units. It's barely even a jumping off point for Davao. Maybe all of them together. Maybe, yeah, I could see that. This is much better port right here, size 4. There's a size 3, though. You know, you can put some units right there now. And in fact, that's probably come right in through here, go right through there, take these, and then go right into the Philippines. I'm big on taking the Philippines now. In the in the real war, we jumped to here because we wanted to be able to bomb Japan. And right now, the way the game's set, it's too far away for for Allied Strategic Air to bomb. Uh, I don't know. Let's look. Strategic bombing range of 10. Maybe that's a bonus of 10. I think that's what it means. So strategic bombers. Let's go look again. And of course, I closed out my handy dandy little program. I guess that's got to be a bonus. Yeah, that's an improvement. So there's 4. How far are we away? 1. Okay. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. About 24 away. So yeah, it's gonna be 45 really before you can strategically bomb. And come right here. Look at my default air units. Now, American Strategic Bomber has a base range of 2. Oops, didn't want to do that. Look at range. Air unit 14. Get up to 18 and 44. Well, actually, it'd be +2. So right now, 16 for strategic bombers. In 44, we go up to 20. And how far did I say that was? From right here? 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just out of range. Too bad. But you take the Philippines, these convoy routes come in range. You put air units here, they hit these convoy routes. But honest with you, you come up here and take the oil, you ain't got to worry about them hitting the convoy routes. That may be what I want to do. In March 42. Okay, well, we're done, guys. I think that's it. I'll post this video and hope you enjoyed just talking. We'll get another video out of some gameplay here in, well, tomorrow. You guys have a good day.